What is up guys, my name is Ignas, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to take a different route, so we are doing an analysis on Activision Blizzard, ticker symbol ATVI. It is a large cap name, currently with a market capitalization of over 48 billion US dollars. This year is quite bad, as on the year to date the company already lost over 30% of its value. The price to earnings right now is at 18.47 and they are paying a dividend which is right now at 0.75%. So first we will do a short review of the company, then take a look into financials and fundamentals. After that we could check the technicals of the price chart, and lastly I will share my own position in the name on eToro. I hope this will be an interesting one, so let's start. Activision Blizzard, together with its subsidiaries, develops and publishes interactive entertainment content and services across the globe. The company operates through three segments: Activision Publishing, Blizzard Entertainment, and King Digital Entertainment. It develops and distributes content and services on video game consoles, personal computers, and mobile devices. Additionally, it operates esports leagues and offers digital advertising content. The company's key product franchises include Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, Diablo, Hearthstone, Overwatch, and Candy Crush. It serves retailers and distributors, including mass market retailers, consumer electronics stores, discount warehouses, and game specialty stores through third-party distribution and licensing arrangements. The company is running several really popular franchises for decades. For example, Call of Duty is a first-person shooter game, and its first release was on October 29th of 2003. Another one is World of Warcraft, which is a massively multiplayer online role-playing game that got first released on November 23rd of 2004. And then there's Diablo, an action role-playing game, with the first release on December 31 in 1996. But these old yet still very popular franchises are not everything that Activision Blizzard has to offer. On May 24th of 2016 they released Overwatch, which is a team-based multiplayer first-person shooter, and they do have games and updates in the pipeline going further. So it seems that the company has a lot going on in favor for it, but nonetheless the stock is dropping recently. Let us try to find out why that is happening. So on November 2nd they reported earnings beating expectations on bottom line, but unfortunately missing on Q4 outlook. Revenue came in at 1.88 billion, right there at the expectation, and earnings were beat at 72 cents per share versus the 70 cents that was expected. Unfortunately, Q4 outlook doesn't look that good. The company is expecting to bring revenue at $2.78 billion, while analysts are looking for $2.95 billion. Same with earnings, where Activision Blizzard is expecting $1.29, while analysts want to see $1.39 per share. This poor outlook seems to not be the only reason why the stock is recently going lower. The company is also in the middle of a scandal, which suggests that they are fostering a frat boy culture that includes sexual harassment and gender and racial discrimination, and they are currently seeking to settle that complaint with 18 million US dollars. Uncertainty and low expectations really doesn't help the company, and this is here what comes off it. JP Morgan knocks off Activision Blizzard price target by 12% and downgrades it to neutral. So the downgrade was done from overweight to neutral, cutting the price target from $100 to $88 per share. While it was a 12% downgrade, on the other hand, they are implying that there is still around 37% of upside available there. So it still seems to be a decent opportunity to get into. Now I want to take a deeper look into financials and see if the company is actually doing well. So here we have the trailing 12 months revenues from the 5 most recent years. Back in 2016 it was under $6 billion, then in 2017 it went up to just under 7, 2018 over 7 billion, in 2019 we had a small decrease in revenues at under $7 billion, which showed a bottom in the beginning of 2020, but after that the trend was upwards. By the end of 2020 it was over $8 billion, and with the latest quarter we now have over $9 billion in revenues from the trailing 12 months. Next part I want to take a look into are the shares outstanding. So we again have the history of the 5 most recent years, and unfortunately here the trend is not going into investors' favor. So in 2016 they had 756 million shares, then in the beginning of 2018 it was already at 770 million, after that they were not issuing new shares for almost 2 years, but recently they have, and by the start of 2021 we have 783 million shares outstanding. Now for the last 2 quarters that number seems to be going sideways again. million. So what this shows us is that in 5 years the share count increased by 3.6%. As it stands like it is, that is not a great sight for buy and hold investors. But could we also compare this increase in shares outstanding with the history of the stock price? So on top here we have the same chart for shares outstanding, and on the bottom that is the graph for the price in the last 5 years. So starting with 2016, where the share price was under $40 per share, going to 2018 at $77, the price for the company went up for over 100%. So as the price was going up, they have been selling extra shares and raising cash. Then by the end of 2018, there was a big drop to under $50, and the price moved sideways up until 2020. In that time, the number of shares outstanding really didn't change that much. So as the price fell, they didn't dilute the company even more. And then 2020 was really a very decent year for the price, going from under $60 to over $90 per share. In the meantime, they managed to sell another 12 million shares out. So I believe that this shows great use of the increase in the share price, and not at all something that is unwanted. Now I would like to take a look into dividends, and these are the numbers for the last 5 years. So Activision Blizzard pays one dividend annually, and in 2017 that was 29 cents. Then 2018 they had an increase to 33 cents per share. 2019 that was 37 cents. 2020 was 41 cents. And this year they paid 47 cents per share. But now what really interests me is the dividend yield. So in 2017 the yield was 0.6%. Then in 18 it was a bit lower at 0.52%. As the price went down in 2019, the yield went up to 0.81%. Then 2020 it was 0.65%. And this year 2021 the yield was at 0.49%. So if we consider the current yield at 0.75%, out of the last 5 years it was only higher in 2019. We can even take a step further and calculate the average yield in the last 5 years. So on average the yield was 0.641%, which means that getting 0.75% is on average already a bit higher than we could have expected in the last 5 years. We may have a concern that with the dividend yield going up, will they be able to actually sustain the dividend? Right now the payout ratio for the company is at 13.95%. So even if they would see a drop in profits of let's say 50%, which is highly unlikely, the payout ratio would still be under 30%, which I believe would still be very much reasonable. So as of right now I don't see any issue for them in paying those dividends. Now I would also like to briefly look into fundamentals. So the trailing price to earnings is at 19.05 and the forward P is now expected to be at 16.53. This would suggest a 15.2% of an increase in profits for next year. If we assume that earnings increase but the PE doesn't change, we're looking for a share price for next year at $71.89. Now analysts seems to be even more bullish, because from the 32 price targets we have $65 on the low range and $125 on the high, with the average being at $96.44. This suggests a 54.6% increase from the current price for next year. Now let's also take a quick look into the technicals. So the price was moving together with the 50-day moving average and then had this huge drop to $66 on earnings. On September 9th the relative strength index was still at around 30, but there was some strength in the histogram of the MACD with that green bar. Then on the 15th, the price was already going up to the highs of $70.68. The relative strength index was just over 40, and the 12-day moving average of the MACD was going up to the 26th one. But September 16th was followed with a huge red candle and weakness in both the relative strength index and the MACD. As for the 19th, we have a loss of $62.17, RSI is still under 30 at 28.1, and there is increasing bearishness in the MACD lines. So I don't think we have a bottom just yet, but I believe it could be a good idea to start adding just a bit, and that is exactly what I already have done. So this is here my public portfolio on eToro, and I do share my buys and sells for it every week. So I now have $200 invested at an average opening price of $64.92. The price currently went down a bit to $62.36, which means we are down for 3.95% on this position, and that makes the value for it at at $192.10. Now let's do a quick recap of what we learned so far. So even though we got decent results for the third quarter, the outlook for the fourth quarter is poor and below analysts' expectations. The recent harassment scandal is also not helping, as it adds more uncertainty in the management. Now what seems to be good is that the recent price drop gives us the lowest price to earnings in the last 5 years, and revenues have been consistently on the increase from at least 2020. Unfortunately, the company is issuing new shares, but the good thing is that they are doing that only when the price is on the increase. From an investor standpoint, buying the stock now will lock in a dividend yield that is almost the highest it has been in the last 5 years. As for the price, it is expected to go up between 15 and 50% in 1 year, but the technicals currently suggest that we may not be at the bottom just yet. So that was it with today's analysis. If you got value or new ideas, then make sure to push that thumbs up, it helps the channel a lot. Are you considering or already holding ATVI? Share your stance on it in a comment below. If you are interested to know exactly when I buy or sell any stock, then consider memberships. By becoming a member, you will get access to Discord, where I share my stock watchlist and all the buys and sells exactly when I do them. This could be a great option to track my moves closely. Last week I did a stock comparison on several semiconductor names, so if you would like to check that one out, then click on a video that is currently on the screen. And that was it from my side. Thank you for watching, and I will be seeing y'all in the next one.